Okay. We're live. Yay.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Hey, TEMSS. We're so excited to be here today. We have an awesome lineup for a shout out masterclass, and we are fired up about shout outs right now. Shout outs are literally on fire. This is the time to run. If you are on the sidelines or you're nervous or you maybe don't know, feel like you're totally confident in how to do shout outs, this is the live that you want to watch. We are going to give you all of our tips and tricks and everything that we know about how to be successful building your business using shout outs, because shout outs, you guys, are literally the bread and butter of our business. Our business is a network marketing business on social media. So what do we get to do? We get to grow our networks on social media. We get to meet so many new people all over the US and all over Canada and all over the world by using these shout outs as a way to constantly expand our network. We will never be at a loss of people to talk to because of these shout outs. So what we're going to talk to you guys about today is literally the how to, who to talk to, who to get shout outs from, all the tips to maximize them once you've gotten them. I'm going to start off, if Maddie, you want to pull up my slide real quick, I'm going to start off talking a little bit with you guys about how to ask for shout outs and who to actually go to, because sometimes we're like, okay, well, I want to do shout outs. I want to blow up my business. I want to have huge volumes and grow my team and meet new customers, but I don't even know where to begin. So let's start there with who to actually reach out to. And, you know, I like to think of it more as offering shout outs, because to me, I think it's a win-win. I always offer them something for fun, whether it's a free waterful face mask. These come in a pack of 8, and I think they're like $1.75 a piece. They slip right into the package when you ship them, whatever the product is. You can also, some people love to offer free shipping. So $5 off their order if they'll pop up a post for you, if they're getting a refill or something. Or you can, you know, actually offer them a free full-size tube of something if it's somebody that you think is going to have an amazing post. But usually if I say that, I preface it by saying, as soon as I sell a few tubes on your post, I would love to send you a free one. That way I'm not completely just, you know, giving away free products out of my own pocket. So who are we going to ask when we're offering these goodies in order to get shout outs rolling? And you guys think of it as this: you're really trying to get the train rolling. And at first that can take a little bit. It can take a couple days of being consistent, asking for a lot of people to do shout outs for you. It might take you getting ghosted by 20 people before you get your first person to say yes. That is okay. That is totally normal. Don't worry if that happens for you. I always start off with going to my close friends and family. If I need to get that train rolling, I'm looking through my Facebook to think, who has a great profile? Who's active on here? Who posts? And maybe they put up a post about their kids and they get, you know, 50 or 100 likes or whatever on it. If I see that somebody has good engagement, I am absolutely going to offer them a shout out for a free something. And once you get a few people that are in your current network getting the post up for you, that's going to lead you very soon to a ton of brand new customers that you get to offer the shout out to. So when you reach out to close friends or family, sometimes I just do like a little message. I'll go to their page. I might comment on whatever last post they had. If they put up a post on Facebook recently, if they don't, maybe they have a story up that circle around their profile photo. I'll go and comment on their last story just to make a little bit of a social connection if it's someone that I haven't talked to in a while. And then I'm going to reach out to them over Messenger or maybe over text if I have on my phone. And I'll say something like, you know, hey, Courtney, hope you're doing well. I know this is kind of random, but I have a little favor to ask. My seasonal favorite product, a magic firming lotion, is taking off right now. And I'm really trying to get the word out. I've got a shipment on the way. And if you would pop up a little post for me, I would love to send you a free one as a thank you as soon as I sell a few on your post. What do you think? And I kind of end it with a question like, what do you think? Or what do you say? And usually when I end it with a question like that, people will respond more likely than just ghosting it. And if they don't say anything back, that's okay too. People are busy, so we can't take it personally if they don't say yes right away. But I'll usually send out maybe, 15 or 20 of those in a day to get that train rolling with just people that are active on Facebook. Another thing you can do if you're trying to think of, okay, well, who's a good group of friends on my Facebook that I could reach out to, put up an engagement post. Put up one of those posts. If you don't know what an engagement post is, talk to your upline sponsor. They'll give you some good ideas. But tacos or pizza, is a simple just example if you don't know what we're talking about. Something that everybody has an opinion on. What do you put your dishwasher forks and knives up or down? People, that will blow up. And then all of a sudden, you've got 50 or 100 people commenting on this post. You get to go to every single person that commented on that post and offer them a shout out the next day. Why not? They're on your page. They know that you're interacting with them on there. So reply to everybody on the engagement post. And then the next day or later that night, go out and offer every single person a shout out. And my guarantee is that you are absolutely going to get shout outs from all those people in your engagement post that we know are active online. And then this is so key. As soon as either you put up your monthly sales post and you have people that purchase from you, or you have shout outs going and you're getting sales, as soon as this person pays, every single time, and I'm telling you, every single time this happens, I do this. You want to immediately thank them for their purchase and then offer them a free face mask or, whatever you want to throw in there for free. In exchange for them putting up a little post for you. And this, you guys, maybe 8 times out of 10, the person says, absolutely send it right over. I always make it clear that it's a copy and paste post to make it really easy. And you can even mention, and by the way, the post doesn't say that you've used the product. It just says you're excited to try it. That way, they're not worried about, oh, well, I haven't even tried the product. How could I vouch for it to all of my friends? They know that the wording of the post won't be saying, I love this product. I've been using this lotion, and something that is not an integrity for them. So even if someone comes back to you maybe and has that concern, like, oh, I just really want to try the product first before I put up a post. That's a great time to respond to them and reassure them that absolutely, I totally understand how you feel. And I just want you to know, the wording will say that you're excited to try it out and that you haven't tried it yet. And so that way you can alleviate that concern and ask them again, what do you think? Do you want to try it out now? If not, no pressure at all. You can, we can do another post another time. And then of course, customers that you recently shipped to, maybe you sent out a bunch of them recently, but you didn't know about that trick. So you haven't offered them a shout out, or they said, I want to wait until I try it. So now go back down that customer list and see who has already received their product recently that you can follow up with and say, hey, oh my gosh, don't you love the way the firming lotion makes your skin feel? Have you started using it? I'm so excited to hear what you think. And then they respond and they say, oh, I love it. It's great. Or I just started using it. That's a great time to say, hey, well, if you'd pop up a little support post for me right now that I sent you to copy and paste, I'd love to offer you, a free waterful hydration mask or half off your next order or something like that. Whatever you want to throw in there for them, that's up to you. One of the biggest groups of people that I focus on personally for shout out offers, I go back to my old shout outs. I go back through my messenger and I love to scroll back like 2 months ago sometimes, and I'll just work my way to today. Like if I'm just sitting down and I'm like, I'm on a mission to get shout outs going, I'll go back through my messenger and I'll look into conversations and I will look for people who asked for information on a shout out about the product, but they did not purchase yet. Because a lot of times those people either A, got busy and forgot to purchase, or B, the price maybe was a little bit more than they anticipated. And at the time they couldn't swing it. So I love to go back to those people and I just say, hey, so-and-so, how are you? I just realized you never had a chance to try the awesome firming lotion and I had a really fun idea. If you would pop up a little support post for me, I would love to offer you, and I always say either $5 off or $10 off a tube. And if it's firming lotion, you guys, first of all, let me just say with firming lotion specifically, you must be bundling. And when you're doing the shout outs, you're going to be able to sell that 19 pack, no problem. But the amount of retail profit when you are doing the bundle of 19 tubes is so significantly higher. It's $23 per tube that you sell. If you have a $23 retail profit on every tube, if you were to go back to all these customers who were not sure if they were going to buy and offer them $10 off, you still have a $13 profit and now the opportunity to reach their entire network. So that is one of my favorite things. If it's Dramatic Effects, I do $10 off. It's up to you, no pressure to do that. But if it's toothpaste or tanner or one of the other products, I usually just say $5 because I don't want to totally give up all of my profit. And then if you, let's say you reached out to a friend of yours that you know would be so fantastic at this business and you want them on board with you, you reach out, you say, hey, my gosh, I would love to teach you what I'm doing. You'd be fantastic at it. And they say, sounds really fun, but I just don't know if it's right for me right now. Pivot. Always pivot from the business conversation to a shout out if someone's not interested right now in jumping on board with you. And you know what's going to happen? One of two things. One, you're going to offer them, if it's a good friend of mine, I'm probably going to offer them a free tube of something. I'm going to say, I'll give you a full free size tube as soon as I sell a few on your post. And they're going to get to try the product. They're going to have a reason to come back and tell me that they love the product, as in, I want to do the business with you. That's a great reopener of the conversation. But two, the primary objective is that when they post their shout out, you flip it. You flip them into a distributor today. You say, are you sure you don't want to do this with me? Look at your post. It's completely blowing up. You have to take this over. And so at that point, you're able to quickly transition that person from saying no thanks to the business to actually doing a shout out to hopefully flipping and becoming part of the business. But if not, you just got into their whole huge, amazing network. And you're hopefully going to get all of their friends to purchase from you. And now their friends are doing shout outs for you today too. And if they start to see their friends not only buying from you, but doing shout outs for you, you better guarantee that is going to pique their curiosity even more, you guys. So we leave no stone unturned when it comes to the shout out. The shout out is magic. And then Facebook friends that have great engagement. I kind of mentioned that earlier, but really thinking of those people that you know who put up the post about their family and it blows up, who put up a post asking for help with some question and you see that it's just like blowing up. They have this random post that's going off. Those are the people that you really want to offer a shout out to. And then lastly, think of people, if you have a VIP page, a beauty group on Facebook for your private customers, go through the list of people that have joined that group. And you're going to find a ton of people who join that group when you put your link on a shout out and you never even had a conversation with them. And now they can try their first product, or maybe you never offered them a shout out when they first purchased months ago. And now you can go back through that list. That's it for my section. I'm going to pass it over to Maddie. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Anna. That was such great information. It's like that's like the magic list. And I'm going to go ahead and post the graphics from the PowerPoint in the comments when we get off of Zoom today. So I am going to talk about some do's and don'ts of shout outs, as well as what makes a good post, because we want you, when you're working so hard to get these shout outs, we want you to set yourself up for the most possible success, to get the most out of every single shout out. And it all starts with the post itself. It all starts with some very basic things. And then Tori will get into how to maximize it once it's up. But let's start with the basics. I'm going to share my screen again. Give me just a second. Okay, so what makes a good post? So this is a shout out that I just did. Hey, check out those comments. 52 comments, you guys. Shout outs are blowing up. So what you want to do when you first set yourself up for success is you want to pick one before and after photo for one product. That is, in terms of marketing and aesthetics, that is what looks best. I can tell you that this green shirt photo, which happens to be an executive on my team, it's her 30-day results. This photo is gold. If you're not using this photo right now, I strongly recommend trying out some shout outs with it because they are blowing up left and right. After you've picked your photo, you want to make sure that your shout out has simple text. And I'm going to go over that specifically in just a second, but you can see that the text on my shout out is extremely simple. It doesn't have special fonts. There's no screaming at people with capital letters. I don't use the emojis, and it's working really well. And that you want to make sure that it gets boosted appropriately. And Tori's also going to talk some workarounds on that because we know that sometimes boosting can have some frustrations, and we're going to teach you how to be resourceful and to be able to overcome any obstacle that you have when it comes to boosting. But you want to make sure that your shout outs are getting boosted because that is what's so important with the Facebook algorithm. So more people see what you're doing. And just a little hint, because I think Tori's going to talk about this with public, but if you look right here, and it may be a little small on here, but this would have been their profile picture and their name would have been up here. And then if you look right here, it's a little globe. And what that says is that this post is public, which allows more people to comment on it. So when you're looking at shout outs, it's going to be a big indicator right away, whether or not it's public, is just to see that little globe. Now, when it comes to shout outs, a couple of the other do's is that when you're boosting with conversational sentences works really, really well. It is important that you maybe take a second and look at the comments above yours when you're helping boost someone else's shout out and make sure you're not saying the exact same thing. There is nothing crazier than when you go on a shout out and it's, I love this stuff. I love this stuff. I love this stuff, like that, like on top of each other. So just pause, take a breath, and make sure that you're writing a genuine and thoughtful comment because that goes a long way as you're helping other people with their shout outs. Responses with more words get better boosted. So you want to make sure that you're using at least 4 words when you're boosting a post. And a really big thing with shout outs, especially when you're running, is that you want to screenshot and crop the photo into a new file every single time you use it, because Facebook can pick up on file types. And so each time you have it has a unique file description that goes into the nether webs or whatever. And so Facebook knows if you're using the exact same photo 1,000 times. The way you trick that is by creating a new file, by screenshotting it and cropping it down. And now it's a fresh file. So there's no like indication to Facebook that you've been using it more than once. So that's a really big tip for you guys. Make each post a little bit original. You don't want to change it up too much because the biggest thing I see is that people will start editing the post a lot and accidentally throw in buzzwords. And we don't want to see that happen, but you could add in like Happy Tuesday or Happy Wednesday on Wednesdays, and that automatically changes it just a little bit because then guess what? Tomorrow it'll be Happy Thursday, and now it's still a new script. A couple of the things that you want to avoid with shout outs is you don't want to use the fancy fonts. That was a big thing like a year ago. Right now with the Facebook algorithm, that can trigger it. And so we want to kind of avoid that. It's the more basic, the better. Right now, the more basic, the better. And so avoiding like capitalization, Facebook doesn't like us yelling at our friends. So we want to keep it with like normal punctuation. And then don't avoid trigger words. So some of the trigger words, and I have another like little do's and don'ts graphic that I'll put in the comments for this that we've shared in the past, but it's a good reminder and a great quick reference to send to your teams. But some of the trigger words to avoid would be order, bulk order, ordering now, save money, sale, buy, product, oh my God, ASAP, shocking, incredible, amazing, crazy, LMAO, unbelievable, wow, like those types of words can trigger the Facebook algorithm also. And so I can tell you that the scripts that we're using and the scripts that are posted are doing really, really well. And so don't get like, we all want to have our creative juices flowing, but in this situation, you can actually cut yourself off at the knees by making it too flowery and too whatever you think is eye-catching. So just keep it simple, make sure it gets boosted, use one photo, keep it extremely clean, extremely simple, and you will see more success. If you take one thing from me, screenshot and crop that photo every single time. I know that it's like when you get crazy and you get busy, you can skip that step, but I promise you it's a really important step. And so make sure that's something that your teams know. So Tori, I'm going to pass it over to Tori. Tori's going to talk about some of those commenting workarounds, some of the things that we run into when we're doing shout outs, as well as how you can maximize every single shout out you get so you leave nothing on the table. So with that, Tori, it's all yours.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, so many great tips there. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the objections and a little bit about boosting. But before I start that, you guys, I want you to make sure that your mindset is really good when it comes to shout outs, okay? You got to have fun. You have to remember this is growing your network. Even if you don't get a sale from it, you're growing your network, you're growing your VIP group. And these are people that are interested. So it's incredible. So think about the fun, think about what this shout out is bringing. And I want to talk about maybe some solutions around boosting, because so often I'll hear, oh my goodness, the post went up and they didn't even tell me they were putting it up, and now I missed it and didn't boost it, and it's the end of the world. You guys, it's not the end of the world. If the post is meant to take off, the post will take off. You can always go back and bullet boost it. You can always go back and get something out of it. So don't think it's the end of the world. It's okay. Embrace it. But a couple of things that we can do to help with that boosting, Maddie already touched on. You can definitely set it public. You'll see that globe at the top. That's awesome. Easy, perfect world. It's public. It's boosted. Great. What happens if it's not? You know what? Instead of stressing that person out that's doing you a favor, I just have them tag me. To me, that's way easier. You don't have to leave it on your timeline. After it's boosted, you can go ahead and hide it from your timeline. You want to hide it from your timeline. But why I have them tag me is, one, maybe they didn't put it up right away and I was in the middle of a dinner and I didn't see, and all of a sudden I see that I'm tagged in something. Boom, it gets my notification of, oh, they just put that shout out up. Okay, so that's one reason it gives me notification. Second is, maybe they tagged you but you didn't get to it. Well, you have a team, or you might have friends that see it, and if they see, oh, Tori must not be around, it's 10 minutes in and there's no comments, a good team member is going to slip in there and they're going to throw a couple of comments. They might even send it to the boost group for you. Okay. Third reason is, you can go in, if it's not public, you can go ask your friends. You can ask your sponsor, maybe a couple of people that you're friends with, because you're tagged. Maybe that post isn't public. They can go comment on it. Okay. So that's another big reason. And in the end, we can always bullet boost. I always send my shout outs to the boost group. I can tell you probably 9 times out of 10, I might get 2 comments from the boosting group, but a lot of it is me boosting. And what I do is, number one is, thank you so much for posting. I really appreciate it. And then the second one I put is, you can find out more at, if you do that at sign, you can actually put in your VIP group. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, whoa, I just started, I don't even have a VIP group. You guys, there's a masterclass on that. Get with your upline. You can make it. You can make a VIP group. I would strongly recommend doing that early on so that the shout outs, you can get people in that VIP group. But if not, if you can get that VIP group, you can put it in the comment section. You're going to start growing your VIP group from the beginning, and that's going to be huge. Okay. And if somebody doesn't accept your friend request, they might go in there. The other thing I found is sometimes people don't like it or comment, but they will request to be in your VIP group, which I always find interesting. And you can look, because when you have a pending person on your VIP group, you can look at the mutual friends and you're like, oh, that was that shout out that I just did. That's really neat. You can go in and send them info. Okay. So that's a tip there. But typically what I do is I thank them. Then I put my VIP page by using the @ sign. And then next I'll just say, hey, these are the reasons I love this firming cream. And then I'll list some reasons where I'll bullet boost it. I'll even go in and add some of my own photos. I might say, you know, I'm using that chest photo that Madeline had just said, having huge success with it. But in the comments, I might say, hey, it works great on your arms. And I'll put a picture of arms. It works great on your stomach. I might put a picture of stomach or legs, but getting some other pictures in the comments will also help. So if it's not boosted, just relax. Remember, the shout outs are a process, and we are growing our network. All the hearts, all the likes, we're friend requesting them, and growing our network with it. So it's not just about sales. A lot of times I'll hear, well, it didn't get boosted and I didn't get any sales. Okay, well, did one person heart it? Did you friend request that person? Were you able to connect with that person? Did that person maybe go to your VIP group? Okay, so just know it's more than just that. The other objection I hear a lot is, well, I got comments, but I friend requested them and they never accepted my friend request, so they didn't see the messages. So a little trick that a lot of people are having success with is, before they even send the message, they friend request them and say, hey, Let me know when you see this. And that's a great way. A lot of people are having success with it. Another way is if they don't see your message, you can go on and just put a comment on there. Hey, I sent you a friend request. As soon as you accept my friend request, you'll see my message. A lot of times that will prompt them to go accept your friend request. You can use the m.me link, which I will talk about how to create that if you don't know how, but that's something you can put on there. They can click on that. It takes them directly to you to message you. And so, yeah, just remind them, okay? Another one that I get for objections, which this is me and I'm guilty. I will get so many shout outs going on a roll. I go to Facebook jail. Okay, what happens when you go to Facebook jail? Your messages aren't delivered. You get that little red check sign. It's okay, you guys. You're writing things down. You can go back later. And when all is filled, if you have to put the message, again, this is last case scenario, last resort. If you have to put a little message with a few little details on the post, you can do that as a last resort. But remember, the key is you want to get them in Messenger. That's going to be the key. So the other thing to remember is shout outs aren't just a one-day thing, okay? You're milking these shout outs. You're getting it up, you're getting boosted. You might go back to an hour later. You might go back to it that night or the next morning. And then the next week, okay? And then maybe a month down the road or 3 months down the road. We all know the story that Jill shared at our event where Jill, who's a qualifying team elite, she has a girl, Des, on her team who's about to hit Blue Diamond. That girl came from an old shout out that she went back to. The shout out was boosted, but it was like a couple months old. She just made a comment on there, reboosted it, okay? So make sure and go back to those because those are boosted and you can bring, you never know, you might get a new recruit or you might get more sales from it, okay? So it's important to have your shout outs saved in a file on Facebook. And even if you don't save them, as long as you write them down and go back to the names and check on them, okay? And so you just have to remember that it's not everything all in one day. You get it boosted, save it, write it down. You can go back to it and you can check on it. And why that's really important is I find that maybe I sent out a friend request and they didn't see my message, but 2 days from now, I go back and I check, oh, they accepted my friend request. I can go send a message. Hey, just wanted to see if you saw my above message. Now, all of a sudden they see it and that brings a sale. So, or possibly onto a new shout out. So that's huge. Let's talk about how to milk a shout out where no stone is unturned, okay? This is huge, you guys. Make sure if you are not messaging and friend requesting the people that are hearting and liking that post, you are missing out 100%. I did not know that in the beginning. And I can tell you majority of my sales or new shout outs or flips come from those hearts and likes, okay? We live in a world where people think hearting is like a comment. So anybody who hearts or likes or comments, you want to friend request them. You can send them a quick message. Hey, let me know when you see this. Or if you want to friend request them and send the info, whatever works for you. If it's somebody who liked the post, I usually say, thanks for liking my post, and I send the info, okay? So you can just add that little line on and it will help. But if you're not doing that, you are missing out on a ton there, okay? And remember, you can go back the next day. You can go back the next week. They might accept your friend request 2 days later and you might be able to get to them then. Let's see. So keep going back and checking on that. And then, add your m.me link. So if for some reason your messages aren't going through or they're not accepting your friend request, how do you get that m.me link? If you go to your profile where it says add story underneath your profile picture, to the right, there's these 3 little dots. If you click on that, you'll see where it says your profile link, and it's all the way at the bottom. Copy that link. That's all you have to do. And you can put that on the post. A lot of times people will end their post with that just so that they don't get missed, you know, or they'll end the post with their VIP group again, just because remember you put the VIP group at the first comment, not everyone's going to see it. So it's good to add that in multiple times, not every other comment, but maybe on the first and then maybe the next day or something like that. Okay. So make sure you have that in a few times. Another tip that I have for VIP groups, you know, they're clicking on that and they're joining your VIP group. A way you can get more shout outs going is when they request to be in your VIP group, you can create a question. And so currently in my VIP group, the question is, would you like a sample of collagen? And if they say yes, I go ahead, friend request them, send them a quick message, show them how they can get a free sample of collagen, or you could do a waterfall mask. But basically, that's just another way to get a shout out. So you can do that before they go into your group. So make sure you're utilizing that too. And just remember, the whole goal of this, you guys, is to flip the shout out. So yes, we want to get that shout out up if it's great to have sales, but the whole goal is we're really focused on that connection and flipping the shout out with them. So an objection sometimes we hear is when it comes to purchasing, well, I can't really afford it. Anna touched on this a little bit already, but if somebody comes to me and says, that's great, but I can't afford it right now. Well, that's not the end of the conversation. Instead, get into that conversation of like, oh, well, do you want to learn how you can earn one for free? Have them. If they sell 3, they can do it. I always tell people, if you sell 3, I'll get you a free one. And even if you don't sell any, you could take $10 off for you just putting up the post for me. So that's a way too. The key there is we want them to get the post up because you're going to tap into their network. They might be able to see for themselves that, wow, I didn't know my friends would really want this and I could do this, because our goal is to flip it, which I will quickly run through flipping real quick. Your shout outs, once they are up and boosted, make sure and send that person a message. Every single shout out. And this is talking about maximizing your shout outs, because we ultimately are getting that shout out up for that person to see how simple this business could really be. And it's all about planting seeds. 9 times out of 10, they are not going to say yes right away. But if you plant the seed along the way, what will happen is they will end up thinking more and more about it. Okay. So right away after it's boosted, I go to them and get a couple comments in. Even if there's not a whole lot of interest in the post, I still share the business, you guys. I will send them a message and say, hey, Jeannie, just wanted to say thank you so much for putting that post up. You definitely have some interest. I have some people that are joining my VIP group. You've got some likes on there. I sent them a friend request. Sometimes they see my message. Sometimes they have to accept my friend request, but just wanted to throw this out there. You definitely have the network of people. If you ever want to do this, it's absolutely free. I'll show you how. I'm sure they're your friends. I'm sure they'd rather pay you than pay me. So just let me know if you want to take over the post. You definitely can. Do I expect them to say yes right away? No, but guess what? I planted the seed and now they can process it. And so then if they may come back later that night. And if they don't, the next day, I will go back again and say, wow, I just want to say a huge thank you again. And if you ever decide you want to know more, please let me know, because your network is set up like you would be incredible at this. Your friends are all wanting it. Again, I'm planting that seed, you guys. And so that's more likely to get them excited. And the other thing is every time one of their friends comments, they're like, gosh, dang it, another friend is paying her. And they don't even know if they're actually completing a sale. But every time a comment goes on there, they're like, oh my gosh, there's another one. They do, she is right. They all do want it. And so that's what you're trying to create, is that FOMO. So key points here are, milk the shout out. Okay. Know that shout outs aren't just a one-day thing. Just because my shout out goes up today doesn't mean like today's the only day I'm going to check it. It means I'm going to check it maybe once or twice today after it's boosted. And then tomorrow I'm going to check it in the morning, and then I'm going to check it in the evening at bedtime. And then what's going to happen the next day? I'm probably going to check it in the morning. I might check it in the evening. Then after that, the next day, I might check it in the evening. Then the next week, I'm going to check it one more time, because I'm going to go through those people and see who hasn't heard, who has not accepted my friend request, or maybe who has and who now can see my message, and I'll get in Messenger with them. So milk that shout out and keep going back to it, and then save them, because a year later you can go back and you can say, you know, just like what Jill did with Des, you end up boosting it, all of a sudden you get more sales, or you end up getting a new team member out of it. So, and then at the end, make sure you put some sort of link, okay? Whether that's a link to your VIP group or your m.me link, something so that whoever stumbles upon that post later, they know how to get a hold of you versus having to search through all the comments. So make sure that that's how I know, like, boom, I'm done with this post for a while, I can move on, but I save them all, and then I might go back to them later. So make sure you're writing them down. You can create a little folder on Facebook so that you have all your saved shout outs. That's an easy way to make sure that they get it. And then one last reminder is, our goal is to flip the shout outs. We want to show them how simple it can be. So when you're getting your shout outs up, make it simple. If the post doesn't get boosted, don't put that stress on that person. You just need to thank them and be grateful that they're doing you a favor. And if something comes out of it, something comes out of it. But if not, you might just get one new friend. That one new friend may watch your journey, and using our attraction marketing that we do, they might keep watching and say, that's that same girl doing the Skin for Me cream. Now she's going to Hawaii. man, I really want to do what she does. So it's up to us to bring those new friends in with our attraction marketing. So with that, I'm going to pass it all over to Monica, because Monica is going to go over social proofing, and she's going to show you, give you proof that this is working. And I can tell you that I have went on a shout out rampage the last couple of days, and it has been insane. So they're working. I would say get your pants on and go for it with the shout outs, because you can definitely create this month if you decide to go all in with shout outs. So from there, Monica, if you want to take over.
All right, I'm unmuted. Hello, everyone. Monica Polk here, and I am so excited to talk about shout outs. You guys have seen my face probably once or twice around shout outs. Like this, as one of my dear friends in the business says, is my wheelhouse. Like I'm obsessed. So Maddie, could you go ahead and pull up that slide for me really fast? So what we're gonna see here, okay, look at this. You guys, simple shout outs. We've got that chest photo. 126 comments, 78 comments, 77 comments. All right, so some of you might be looking at this thinking, oh, that's not me. I never have that luck. Man, I'm just not good enough. I don't have a network like that. There's no way I'm ever gonna get a shout out like that. I guarantee someone's thinking like that right now, probably more than one person. And I'm gonna say, stop it right now. Okay, because the people who are getting these shout outs, guess what? They've gotten a lot of ghosts. They've gotten a lot of no's. All right. But what they have done is they've continued to go. So something that has really sat with me for a while is Eileen actually interviewed on the executive page, a team elite from abroad. And she talked about some different characteristics that people needed to have to be successful. And one of them is that they created their own momentum, that they were self-starters. And I have to tell you guys, when I think about the success that I've had in the business, it has come from nothing. I didn't get lucky. Okay, none of us here are lucky. You see us here presenting about this today, you guys, as I'm reiterating it again and again and again, we've gotten more ghosts than you can imagine. We've gotten more no's than you can imagine. We just don't care. Like, it's plain and simple. Did it start that way? No, you guys, I did not want to ask for shout outs. Lindsay Wesley, my mentor at the beginning, had all these stories in my head about it. Literally was like, you know what you need to do? I'm like, yeah, no. Nope, I'm fine. I'm fine. And then I realized, oh no, if I don't create my own momentum, if I don't get out of my own way, I'm never going to be successful. And so what that comes down to, all right, so I sat here today. Tess is luckily sleeping still. She's 4 months old. And I was feeding her a bottle, snuggling her, and I was going to town. So I'm like, there's no way I'm getting on a shout out masterclass without hauling it myself. So I literally right before this just went and asked for 30 shout outs. It does not matter. Truth, you guys. I was like, I can't get on here and like preach like, oh, that's for shout outs. No, I'm not going to do that. You guys, we all get into the momentum. What Tori's talking about, what Maddie's talking about, what Anna's talking about. They're giving you all of these tips because we all do it. And we all have to redo it. We all go in the lulls. When I hear, I'm dry with Cortland Warren, I think multiple people said, I'm in a shout out desert. Guys, we all hit shout out desert. We all hit a lull. And then guess what? We come back to the masterclass and there was like literally so much gold from all these amazing leaders. So many different tips and tricks. You could come back and watch us every time you hit a desert and hear something different and try a new tactic. And again, you have to make the decision. Are you going to be a self-starter? Because I promise you, you will not have the success that you want to have if you don't get out of your own way and become a self-starter. Another thing, like you guys, I always, when I ask for a shout out right after purchase, that is one of the most important things. Like I used to think, and I hear it all the time. Oh, well, I want them to try it first. I wouldn't do it without trying first. There's no way I'm going to put them in that position. Okay, well, that's us having stories in our head. And it's not our choice to make. So what I do is I literally put it out there and I ask. I had someone today ignore it. I said, Kay, did you want that free facial hydrating mask? Totally fine if not. But I just wanted to make sure I didn't skip it in the order. I could send you that post right now if you had time. And they said, oh, you know what? I'd love to try it. I said, great. And you know what I do? I flag it in my spreadsheet. I put a mark, will do, shout out. So you know when I'm doing that customer follow-up, one of those ideas Anna talked about customers, they're the first ones I go to because I've they've already acknowledged that they're open to the idea of doing a shout out. You don't have to wait for the results. We can ask a week later. Hey, have you noticed how hydrating that firming cream is? That's my favorite part. I don't need lotion after it. Have you noticed that? Awesome. Would you be willing to put up that post now? Did you have a second to do that? So you guys, it's just about staying consistent with it. The other thing I want you to think about is the hope behind a shout out. And I think about it all the time. Shori said, this is fun. You guys, some of the most beautiful relationships in my life today have come from shout outs. Do we have shout outs that flop? Yes. Again, the ghosts and the no's? Yes. It is worth every single ghost and no for the people and the women in my life now. Because if I hadn't persevered, if I hadn't kept going, I would not have these women in my life. I would not have this organization around me. Almost every single person in my organization has come from a shout out. They either did a shout out or I met them through a shout out across the board, whether they were in my network or not. We have such a blessing with these shout outs. We're not asking for a week-long, party. We're not asking to come into their home. We're not asking them to send messages to 1 million of their friends. It takes a minute. And this is such a beautiful blessing. And so you need to realize that as you ask, hold on to the hope of who could I meet today? It might not be today. It might be a week before you see momentum. It could be a month before you have a unicorn post of 126 comments. But guess what? Along the way, as Anna and Tori and Maddie have said, that one like could also lead to a team elite on your team. That one love, that one like. So this is where you hold on to the hope and the confidence. And you need to be unwavering with it, of knowing what you're doing is not only helping people feel better, but every shout out you ask for, and every shout out that's posted is leading to people who are praying for you. So if you have anything blocking you right now, view this with hope and love. Change your mindset. It will change your life. So it has been such an honor talking to you guys about shout outs today. Go with the momentum. Be a self-starter.
Thanks, guys. I put it on back on gallery if you want to say bye.
Bye, guys. Go ask for shout outs.
We'll get shout outs.
Go get them.